Hello, Roosevelt family and friends. It's me, Miss Pascarella. I just wanted to say hi and do some fun activities with you today. So, believe it or not, this is my very first video. I did do a joke from Miss Goldstein earlier, so I had a little bit of practice. And this is actually like my 8th take on this particular video. So every time I did it, I did something wrong and I had to start over. So unless I do something majorly wrong, this is it. So you might see a few little mistakes, but we're just going to go with it, okay? All right. So today I'm going to read you the story called The Cherry Tree, and it's a beautiful story full of love and hope. But I'm going to show you that even though it's a beautiful piece of literature, there's so much more involved to it. Okay, so not only is it literature, but it also touches on math, science, history, and social studies. Okay, and what we're going to do is I have a challenge for you. Now, I'm calling it the Bear Challenge because we're the Roosevelt Bears, but I didn't talk to Miss McCord or Miss Goldstein about it, and so I apologize to them that and I'm sorry, my ideas were changing like constantly about what I was going to do with this little recording. But but I think that because this isn't mandatory and this is just all volunteer for you guys, it's just something fun that you do not have to do, and it's not going to be graded. And I think when they see how excited you're going to be, I hope so, and how many of you are going to do some of these challenges, that they're going to be, happy that that you guys are so motivated. Okay, so motivate yourselves for me. Okay, all right. So what the Bear Challenge is that throughout the story, I'm going to stop and I'm going to tell you that if you do an activity, that you can earn a bear paw. Now, I'm not going to make a chart with lots of bear paws. You're going to keep track of your activities on your end, and I'm going to keep track on my end. But I'm just going to make some tallies, and I'm going to check every day. I'm going to check Facebook and see if you guys posted anything. But so for every activity that you do, and then you post it on Facebook so I can see that you did it, you're going to earn 1 bear paw. Well, for every 3 bear paws that you do, then that will earn you 1 pick out of my prize box when we get back to school. Now, we don't know when we're going to get back, but we know that we are going to get back. So we definitely are going to see each other again. And so whenever that is, there's my prize box will be waiting for you. Okay. So, and hopefully, if you like this activity, I have 2 more books that I would like to share with you. So there will be room for us to, for you to get more bear paws. Okay. All right. So an example of one way that you can earn a bear paw is something as simple as this. So this story is set in Japan, and this is the flag of Japan. And it looks real simple, just a white background and a red circle, but it's really a lot more. So the white stands for purity and honesty, and the red is the symbol of the sun. And the sun is important to them because Japan is located east of the Asian mainland, and that is where the sun sets. So an activity that would earn you 1 bear paw, if you want to do it, you don't have to, is if you wanted to research the flag of any country that would interest you. So, or you might want to do your nationality, the flag of, of your nationality. Like, for example, I'm Italian and Irish. I might want to look up the Italian flag or the Irish flag. You might want to draw it. You might want to write about it. And that would earn you a bear paw. Now, because we are bears and, we have high expectations, when you write, please remember, start with a capital and end with a punctuation. Doesn't have to be perfect, but remember, try to do your best, okay? All right, good job. Take a quick sip. All right, I'm going to tell you a few fun facts about Japan. Japan is part of the continent of Asia, and as I already told you, it is east of the Asian mainland where the sun rises. It is 6,321 miles from the United States, and if we flew from New York City, it would take us 13 hours on an airplane. So another way to earn a bear paw, give me a few more facts about Japan, and that would earn you a bear paw. Okay, good job. All right. In our story, there is a war. So when we enter the story, there had just been a war. So I wondered to myself, I wonder what war it was. So I went and I looked up Japanese wars, and it was so sad that there were so many of them. So I just picked two. So I picked two wars. So this is a history and math. So for Ms. Colin, Mr. Kitchen, Mr. McGough, our math people, we have a math challenge. So the first war that I chose was the Sino-Japanese War. That was in 1895. And the second war that I chose was the Russian-Japanese War, which is in 1905. So for the math challenge, I want to know how long ago that was, both of those wars were. So from now. So I put the year now, 2020, and we're going to subtract 1895 and 1905. So remember, when we subtract, the number on top has to be greater than the number on the bottom. If the number on top is not greater, you have to borrow from your neighbor. All right? So tell me, how many years ago both wars were. And then I want you to subtract between the two and tell me how many years apart both of these wars were from each other. All right? Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of history about these wars. So the Sino-Japanese War was a war between China and Japan. And both of them were fighting to rule Korea. They both wanted Korea. Well, Japan won. Okay? So now, these years later, that you're going to figure out how many years later, Russia and Japan fought. And guess what they fought for? Yep, they also fought for Korea. So now they were fighting for Korea, and guess who won? That's right, Japan won again. And that was a big deal for Russia because Russia wasn't used to losing. They thought they were very powerful. So now we have two wars, both fighting over Korea. So this is going to be for 2 points. If you can tell me what was so important about Korea, why did they both want Korea? Why was Korea important? I don't know. I'm very curious to know, why were there two wars? Why was Korea so important that there were actually wars fought over it? Okay, so that'll be a 2-pointer. If you can do the math, and then you can tell me, why was Korea so important? Okay, so that's more ways to earn your points. Okay, now before I read the story, we're going to look at the author's purpose. So while I'm reading, I want you to look at the author's purpose. Is the author going to try to persuade us, inform us, or entertain us? Remember, we look at the pie to help us remember. We're also going to be looking at character traits. Are the characters in our story going to be kind, or are they going to show empathy? Or are they going to be the opposite? Are they going to be bullies and unsympathetic? So think about them. Remember, character traits aren't what we see on the outside. It's not that she has a pretty purse or her hair is nice. It's what they are on the inside. Are they kind? Are they patient? That's what a character trait is. And another way to earn your paw is when the story is over, you can tell me some more character traits of our characters, okay? So that's another way. There's lots of ways that we can earn our points. All right. And finally, I want you to be looking for the central message. And the central message is basically the theme. What is the theme of our story? What is it trying to tell us or trying to teach us? Okay, good job. Okay, so we're going to begin. The Cherry Tree by Tasuki Ikeda and illustrated by Brian Wildsmith. Okay, let me show you the pictures first. Tashi and his sister Yumika lived with their mother in an abandoned farmhouse. Their country had been at war, and airplanes had dropped bombs on their village. Their own house lay in ruins, and their father was dead. For Tachi and Yumika, the bombs had shattered their world into 1,000 pieces. Their mother's heart was shattered too. Every morning, Mother walked the long road into town to earn a little money shining shoes. The children waved goodbye to her. How empty the house felt after she was gone. It was better to be playing outside. I know I shouldn't be touching my mouth. When Tashi and Yumika and the other children were playing, they could pretend everything was all right. That Mother was home cooking dinner. They could make believe that they were building her a fine new house. If they pretended hard enough, the heap of rubble that they played on could be a mountain, an island, a ship, or a castle. "Here comes a fierce tiger to guard my door," cried Yumiko. But it was only a small stray cat. Yumiko and Tashi made a special friend of that lonely little cat. When he wandered away one day, they searched for hours until they found him in a place. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. That they had never been before. Okay. The little cat was sitting in the bare branches of a sickly tree. An old man was busily wrapping the tree's trunk in straw matting. "What are you doing?" asked Yumiko. "Winter's coming," said the old man. "I must take care of her. Trees feel the cold too, you know. If it snows, she could die." "The tree looks dead already," said Tashi. "Not quite. It's true she hasn't blossomed since before the war. But one day, with a little kindness and patience, she may again. Not in my lifetime, perhaps. But one day, I'm sure of it. But I must hurry. If only I weren't so old and slow." And he went back to bandaging the wounded tree. Yumiko could not forget the old man and the ugly, gnarled tree. That night she lay awake thinking about them. In the darkness she heard Tashi whisper, "Mother, we met the oddest man today. He takes care of an old sick cherry tree, hoping that one day it will blossom again. Do you suppose it ever could?" "It never hurts to hope," Mother replied. "Perhaps you could help the old man." "Yes, let's help," cried Yumiko. She turned over and went to sleep while moonlight tumbled in through the window. Okay, and that's an example of personification, because moonlight cannot tumble like a person. Personification, person. Okay. The same moon shone down on the old cherry tree that night. Among the damaged roots, beneath the bare branches, friends gathered. For many years the foxes, badgers, owls, and other animals had been sheltered by that tree. Okay, now here comes your first science question. And I know Miss Murphy talked to you about this. So what's the name of the animals that come out at night? What do we call animals that come out only at night? Good job. If you said nocturnal, you were correct. Good job. The next day, after Mother had gone off to work, Tashi and Yumika left their home. Not a word was spoken, but they both knew where they were going. There was snow in the clouds and ice on the wind. They must hurry if they were going to help the old man save the tree. All day long they dressed the sorry-looking branches in scarves of straw. The little cat kept them company. "I believe you brought us here to meet the cherry tree," said Yumiko. The little cat only replied with a purr. I think he did that too. What do you think? Uh-oh. Oh no. When the first snow fell, Yumiko and Tashi climbed up the hill and tenderly brushed the snow away from the tree branches. Then they called the old man and told him what they had done. He put on his hat and went out in the snow with them. I did hope someone would remember the tree, he exclaimed. I was so worried when the snow came early and fell so hard. But I never gave up hope. And you see, I was right. Along came two kind children to help me. One day the cherry tree will blossom again. You mark my words. I hope so, said Tashi, but he did not feel very sure. Soon the winter was too fierce and cruel for anyone to visit the cherry tree. Not the old man, nor the cat, nor the children. Even the wild animals hid in their dens, deep beneath knotty roots, frozen in the icy ground. Everyone was watching for spring to end the killing cold. All right, I have another science question for you. So what is it called when animals go to sleep for the winter? What do they do when they go to sleep for the winter? We call that what? What do we call that? They what? Okay, they hibernate. Hibernate. Okay, good job. They hibernate. Good job. Miss Murphy taught you well. Okay, I have a bear paw opportunity. So we know that animals that sleep for the winter hibernate. What is it called when animals who leave to go to a warmer place? What do we call that? You can tell me that. And that's a little bit too easy, just that one word answer. So I want you to tell me what it's called. And I want you to give me 3 animals that do that. 3 animals that leave to go to a warmer place. And what is that called? All right? All right, look at this. Spring came at last. Yumiko and Tashi peeled off the wrappers of straw, and the children and the cherry tree stood as bare and brown as before. Oh, I hope it blossoms this year, said Tashi. I've said that now for many, many years, said the old man. But we can hope, can't we? Said Yumiko. Of course. That's the marvelous thing about hope. Was it Yumiko who saw it first? Or was it Tashi? Perhaps it was the old man or even the cat. But one spring morning, as they stood staring up into the tree, the first pink blossom opened its petal to the sun. Can you see it? Wait till you see this. Look. Beautiful. Suddenly, the tree was a cloud of petals, a froth of flowers. The cherry tree had come back to life. Yumiko and Tashi brought their mother to see the blossoms. She said that it did her good to see such loveliness. That very day, her broken heart began to mend. I'm so happy it happened while the old man was still alive. People came from all over to see the tree. I remember it now, said someone. It used to blossom like this before the war. But I had given up hope that it would ever bloom again. Oh, you should never give up hope, said Yumiko. Never, echoed Tashi. In time, the village also came back to life. New houses and shops were built. Mother found work in a shop, so she no longer needed to walk the weary road into town each day or leave the children on their own. Life was everything they had dared to hope for. As their friend the old man said, with love and patience, nothing is impossible. I should hope you know that by now. And that's the end. Okay, and I hope you like it. All right, if you like it and you want more, like me on Facebook, okay? All right, and I laugh when I say that because I hardly ever go on Facebook. So this new world is making us all do things that, are outside of our comfort zone. So I'm trying to get a little more comfortable with all of this. So it's a little bit fun. All right, so let's take a look at our author's purpose. All right, did our author persuade us? Did he inform us? Or did he or she entertain us? So which one do you think it was? Okay. I think that he or she entertained us. Did you enjoy that? Was it something nice and beautiful to listen to? Okay, I think that it entertained us. All right, and our character traits. Were our characters kind and did they show empathy, or were they bullies and unsympathetic? Yeah, thankfully, I think they were kind and they did show a lot of empathy. Okay, they really cared about the old man and they really cared about how he felt. So, thank goodness for that, huh? So, don't forget, if you can tell me more character traits about our characters, you can earn a beer paw. Okay, good job. All right, and finally, our central message. So, what do you think the central message was? All right, I think that we can agree that it was about hope. All right, and I think it's very important that today, in today's world, that we all have hope. And I think that we do. And I wrote something down so that I wouldn't get tongue tied. But let me read it. Excuse me. Sorry. I think of all of us that have hope. And I think as students of Pittsburgh Roosevelt that and of the world that we all hope that things are going to get better. And I know that they will. I really believe that they will. And we all hope that we're going to see each other again, and we hope that we're going to be able to hug each other again. And what I hope, and I know that a lot of us feel this way, that hopefully when we do see each other again, that all of those little things that made us angry before and all of those little things that, got on our nerves before and, made us like just, get angry real quick, that we're going to get rid of. We're not going to worry about those little things anymore. Because when we see each other, we're going to be so happy to see each other and so thankful that we finally get to be together again, that we're not going to worry about those little things anymore. We're not going to sweat the small stuff anymore. All right. And we're going to think about all of the things that we took for granted, like not being able to just go out of the house and just get anything anytime we feel like it. All those little things that we can't do right now, that we will be able to do soon. But right now, the things that we never even thought about that we can't do right now. There are things that we took for granted. So I hope that when we see each other again, that we're going to think like, wow, we are so lucky to be together again. And we're not going to get mad at each other over teeny little things. That we're going to stay on our strong side because we're Roosevelt BEARS. We're going to stay on our strong side and we're going to try to be kind and we're going to be considerate and we're just going to be happy to be together. So that's what my hope is. All right. So hopefully we all feel similar to that. And we all want to just be together and be happy and just be grateful for each other. Okay. So I'm going to end with a quote. And my quote is from author Jennifer Dukes Lee. And she said, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. Okay? So, we might not be able to hug each other, but we can still smile at each other. And I know when I go to the grocery store, I keep my distance and I cough in my sleeve if I have to cough and I make sure I wash my hands. But I know when I go out, there's so many people that just have their heads on and, but when I look at somebody in the eye, I try to always smile at them because this is, right now it's a little bit scary, but it's going to be okay. And I want to smile at people and let them know that it's okay. We're going to get through this and we are going to get through this. Okay. So I love you guys. And let me know if you like this and I'll do another one. Okay. So have a nice spring break. And when we get back from spring break, we're going to be doing some serious schoolwork that you're going to have to do. So we're going to be getting in touch and we're going to all get through that together too, because I'm a little confused about that stuff. And I know you're going to be a little bit confused, although, a lot of you are going to be way better at it than me. Like my boys, Jake, Judah, Antoine, Kane, I'm going to have to call you up and you're going to have to help me get on. Okay. So, all right. I love you guys. Take it easy.